Nope,
Ready.
Starting. There we go. What are we doing?
Aloha, winala, ekomomai. Good afternoon and welcome to this Cruising Lealea Hangout number 5, which we are broadcasting from Studio 2, high atop the hill in the middle of Petersburg, Alaska.
At KFSK.
KFSK Petersburg, Studio 2, yep. And simultaneous to this broadcast, of course, KFSK is going out over the airwaves. Whoops, we did that again. I keep doing that. What's going on? Okay, there we go.
Let's pause it. There we go. Oh my gosh, we'll get this down one of these days. So we are actually going to talk a little bit today about, well, who are we?
Who are we? Well, I'm Chuck.
And I'm Laura.
Laura. Together we are Cruising Lealea.
Cruising Lealea. And we've been in Petersburg here for the last, this is our fourth
This will be we're going on our fourth winter.
Oh my gosh, our fourth
But
winter.
we got people waiting outside that want to come in, I think.
Yeah. So fundraiser's going today, and we've offered to help KFSK in any way we can. So we're going to do a pitch for any donations that anyone cares to give. We've got, of course, KFSK has their regular list of donations, but what we are doing ourselves is if you call in and give a $25 donation, heck, $10 donation,
become a member.
Anything, become a member.
Become a member of KFSK Petersburg, and we will send you a mug. Normally, you'd have to spend 120 bucks to get one of these mugs.
And they're really cool mugs, perfect boater mugs.
We'll wash them first before we send them to you.
What, they don't want DNA samples?
And we're going to talk about cruising. We're going to talk about
what we've done
the other side of cruising life, living aboard.
Some of the other stuff we've done. We're going to have the station manager, Tom Abbott, stop in, and he's going to share a couple of really cool stories with us about the history of the KFSK mug.
But we got some music for you. I'm going to go grab our friends
and we've
here.
got some music for you. This is a local, really talented couple, Alec and Nicole, that do a lot of music here in town, and they have a boating song that they're going to sing for us real quick. These guys rock. So like I said, it's going to be a little bit of a show here today. So stick with us. Have a good time. We're going to turn it over to Alec and Nicole.
Hi.
Hi, guys. Here's Nicole. Here comes Alec. I'm going to move seats, and I hope you guys enjoy. Come on in.
Thanks.
There we go. Have a seat.
Which way do you want to be?
Well,
This one? I think this way. Oh, we're just, shifting it all around here.
Welcome to.
Thank you.
Stand.
We're Alec and Nicole, and we're going to do a song for you that Alec wrote called Bold Fisherman. Is it like once a fisherman, always a fisherman? Like, are you still a bold fisherman? Or
Old and bold?
Lots of
old and
dreams.
bold. Yeah,
We're
old
still
and
dreaming.
bold. And
Yeah.
long
Still
time
salty.
shrimping.
Yeah, of course. Well, Pete Seeger sang this song too, and I don't think he ever was a fisherman. So.
Well, he didn't sing this song.
No, he didn't sing this song, but something like it anyway. Come all you bold fishermen, listen to me. I'll tell you a tale of the fish of the sea. Blow ye with westerly, westerly blow, bound for the fishing ground, steady she goes.
You make love to the camera too while you're singing.
Up jumps the herring, flipping about. Come try to catch us, they sing and they shout. They dive in a ball and are gone with the tide. Think they'd be back, but I think that they lie. Then comes the salmon, he jumps up on deck. He says, you can't go fishing, you got holes in your net. Get them sewed up or you'll never catch me. He turns and he twists, jumps back in the sea. Blow ye wind westerly, westerly blow, bound for the fishing ground, steady she goes. Then come the halibut, flop on the hatch. He flexes his muscles, a dangerous catch. He says I'm a monster, as big as a whale. He's gone overboard with a thresh of his tail. Then come the codfish, black and the gray. He shakes off the line and goes swimming away. Turns with a grin as he spits out the hook. I think that the fisherman might be good to cook. Blow, you wind westerly, westerly blow. Bound for the fishing ground, steady she goes. Then come the crab, they march in the muck, they march in the pot, and they eat the bait up. They say we're still hungry, what shall we do? Please won't you fall in, we'll eat you up too. Then come the fisherman all stalwart and grim, and with his big net he scoops all the fish in. Blow, you wind westerly, westerly blow. Bound for the fishing ground, steady she goes. Bound for the fishing ground, steady she goes.
There's our fish song for you. Thanks for listening.
Don't forget the bait.
Or your donation to KFSK. Yay!
That's right.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, guys, for having
Thanks
us.
a lot.
Anytime. We're ham bones.
All right.
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Alec and Nicole. Great. All right. So once again,
Where was we?
Chuck and Laura, Cruising Lealea. We are here today. We're going to talk a little bit about what we've done this last summer, and of course, pitch the fundraiser this week at KFSK.
Yeah, well,
that's why we're here. That's why we haven't been able to leave.
Most of you know, most of our subscribers know that we have been volunteering at KFSK Petersburg ever since we landed here in Petersburg for our first winter. And we sailed up from Hawaii, went to Sitka, started asking where we're going to spend the winter. We had thought we might do it in Sitka, but when we got to Sitka, spent a week there.
Not so much.
We decided we didn't really like it enough to spend the whole winter there. So we started, and we got there 1st of August, so we had 6 weeks at least of open cruising time. So we started exploring and asking around, and people said, go try Petersburg or Wrangell.
We tried Wrangell.
And we tried Wrangell. We tried Petersburg was where we went to the first winter. Yeah. It's just because of where we were and the route that we needed to take. We'd had to go past Petersburg to get to Wrangell. So, there we were. We came to Petersburg. We liked it. First thing we did, we got here the second week of September, and the KFSK Petersburg radio membership drive was the first week of October. And so it was the first chance we had to really get out and meet some of the folks in town. We came to the potluck that Sunday, first Sunday in October, and we met Dr. Ken Hill, the veterinary, and we met a commercial fishing couple, Jeff Robinson, Suzanne Fuqua.
House sitting for,
and their boat is the
remember the name of their boat? Don't ask me. No names.
Because it's their daughters. It's their 2 daughters. Jane is one of them. Oh well. But we met them, and it just started off. We just kind of got sucked into the community.
Yeah.
And it's for someone who's got saltwater in their veins like I do. It's just a great little town.
Well, it's the perfect town because everyone has salt water in their veins here.
Yeah.
It's just everyone in this town is involved in boating or fishing in some manner or another.
They don't have a restaurant that stays open at night, but they do have a really good chandlery. Anything you want for a boat, a real boat, a working boat, you can get in Petersburg. Yeah. And anything you need done, you can get done.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to pitch one more time. Anybody who donates $25 or more today to KFSK, we're going to send you a mug. We'll get it to you. Don't care how, mail, slow mail, but we'll get you the mug. And these are really nice ceramic boater mugs with a cool design on it.
We have 2 of them. We only have 2 of them.
We have 2. Well,
so the first 2 people who, when they call in, say they're calling from Cruising Lealea, or they just mention Cruising Lealea when you call in and become a member of KFSK Petersburg.
Yeah. And usually it's a $120 donation to get a mug, but we're saying like
$25. Become a member is $25.
And we'll send you a mug.
And we'll send you a mug if you say Cruising Lealea when you call in. And the number is 888, toll free, 888-772-3808.
Call in. There's people on the lines. Mention Cruising Lealea. We'd love to, and we'll pick up the line and chat with you and say hi while you're on the line. So that would be really cool. Coffee Dog.
Coffee Dog's here, and Patrick is here.
And no, it's not too cold yet. Actually, it's been really, well, the last couple of mornings have had a nippy,
around to about, the
mid-40s.
mid-40s. There was frost on the ground in the morning. It got down.
Well, our assistant harbor master found the first patch of ice in the harbor.
First patch of ice at the bottom of the ramp.
Fell flat on his back. Thanks, Ed, for finding that before anybody else did. That would have been nasty.
Well, maybe it'll stop by.
I think Glo Wollen, our Petersburg harbor master, is going to try and swing by a little bit later and say hi. And if you have any questions about Petersburg or the harbor or rates or services or just any questions, she's going to be able to answer them for you. Tom Abbott's going to stop in and give us a quick story, the station manager, and give us a quick story about the history of the KFSK mug. There's some fun stories. There's some fun stories. And I think Mindy Anderson is going to stop in and share one of her favorite boating shrimp recipes for a couple of, one or two recipes.
A volunteer run, not volunteer run, but not certainly volunteer, but it's an NPR affiliate. What is it? Regional public radio affiliate. We run NPR programming and programming done by local volunteers, and there are a couple of full-time employees at the radio station.
Yeah.
But not many.
Not many, but they get
2 or 3. That's about it.
They get interns coming in. We just had Joe leave. He was here from England.
Yeah, Joe from England. Can't remember his name.
He was here for what, 3 months?
Sounded funny on the radio.
Yeah, it was fun listening to Joe pronounce certain things on the radio, talk about sports that he had no idea what was going on.
Do the baseball.
But he was fun, and he
had a real knack. He had a real knack for human interest stories.
Yeah, he did a great
job of digging into the community and finding out what's important.
Yeah, he did a segment on the cannery workers this summer that was a lot of fun to listen to. He'd go out and do an interview and find out where the cannery workers were from and hear their stories about why they were here and why they were working.
Yeah. Well, so what does all this have to do with cruising, which is our whole reason for being on the internet in the first place, especially on YouTube? And someone asked the video that we put up day before yesterday announcing this hangout. And someone said, what's the point? The point is that this is something we're doing as part of our cruising experience, is getting into the community here, and it's a community that literally has 1 foot on the boat and 1 foot ashore. Everybody in this town is involved with the fishing industry in one way or another. Almost every household has a boat, or 2 or 3.
Yeah. And
virtually everyone in the town uses the harbor or uses the harbor products in one way or another.
What is it, 60% of the town uses the harbor on a regular basis?
Yeah, 60% of the town is paying regular harbor fees. In other words, renting a slip.
The rest have all trailerable boats.
Ramp. Or no, if they're using the boat ramp even. But yeah, so it's a really certainly water-based community, more so than any large city that you might find on a shoreline like Seattle or San Francisco, because you just can't escape the ocean here in this town.
And we saw a lot more cruising boats come through this last summer since they've expanded the harbor facility.
Since the harbor is really nice now. The harbor itself, the slips and the floats and the ramps and everything are really nice. And since they got that, was it Cruising World or Cruising Magazine or Sail or one of those magazines, yachting magazine. It's one of the top
voted
10.
Petersburg
Petersburg was number one. What
Yeah,
the top cruising destination in
the world. That tells you something.
But fortunately, the big ships don't come here at all.
Yeah, you don't get any of the big cruise ships like you see when you're going to Ketchikan.
No, because they can't negotiate the Narrows, and without being able to negotiate the Narrows, this would be a dead end. They'd have to come in Frederick Sound and go back out Frederick Sound. They don't like to do that. So it limits the amount of tourism that they will ever see here in Petersburg.
Yeah, but tons of hiking, trails, anchorages. I mean, just
that's a perfect place to come with your own boat, because it's a great resupply stop with lots of places around that you can go for a week, 10 days. You know, you can hop around and resupply. Petersburg has all between Petersburg and Wrangell, everything you could possibly need for a boat.
Yeah.
Great haul out facilities in Wrangell, and great chandlery facilities and resupply opportunities in Petersburg.
Yeah. So. And we have Sea and Stars. Hey there, Lealea, just hanging out. Thanks for hanging with us. We got looks like 15 people on with us. Very cool.
And we're hanging at the KFSK Petersburg studios because they're very nice in allowing us to use Studio 2 for the Hangout.
It's nice and quiet. And we have Zappa again.
Frank's back there.
Frank's
still.
Back there.
But they're doing their annual membership drive this week, and that's what prompted us to do this.
So
KFSK is in the beginning stages, the planning stages of opening a new YouTube channel.
And Chuck's been helping with that,
I've been
trying to get it organized a little bit.
A little bit. But they have had their funding reduced substantially.
We
25%.
Thought we were going to lose the radio station. We thought they were going to have to turn the lights off, which was a really scary proposition. When you come to Petersburg and turn on the radio, there's one station to listen to. It's not like some of the bigger cities where you have a full selection of channels to go to. And
no, there's one radio station that serves the whole area from Kupreanof Island to Edelin Island, Petersburg, Wrangell, Cape. Wrangell has a radio station, but it's weak. I guess I don't know, but I don't believe they have the translators that KFSK has. KFSK, what is it? Oh, it's right there. Except I can't read it with these glasses.
We got Sailing Lolita. Hey guys, how's it? Alaska. I used to live up there in Ketchikan. I miss it during the summers. It's
you miss Ketchikan?
You know, you sound like you're a Petersburg resident already. Wrangell? You live in Wrangell?
I judge every town by the docks.
Yeah.
When
you pull up and docks are in good shape and people have their bicycles laying around, you know it's a safe place.
Well, in Ketchikan, as you leave Ketchikan going south, you go along the waterfront, and then there's that great big Harley Davidson Bar and Shield sign on the waterfront, where they sell T-shirts and and stuff.
We have one howdy one. Hey, hi guys. Have you met any other cruisers that winter over there like you do? Most of the folks we've met park their boats and go home. I think they're not. Well, our boat is our home. We don't have another home to go to, so this is it. A lot of people
I just thought of something. I'm sorry. I got to stop you.
Oh,
I got to interrupt. I just thought of something. Let somebody think I was dissing Ketchikan, or Harley Davidson for that matter.
You wouldn't diss Harley.
No, I would. I would. It's thanks to Harley Davidson that I was able to retire and go sailing. I worked 26 years. For
Pacific Harley Davidson
in Honolulu.
So if you go to Hawaii and see the big Harley shop, the 2-level shop there, Chuck used to work there. Stop in, say hi. You'll see his name on a plaque on the wall.
I worked there long before they built that big shop. Long before that.
And selling Lealea. It didn't used to have so many cruise ships back then. Yes, well, they get, like 3 or 4 a day now? It's just insane the amount of ships they have coming through there. It triples
when we were there,
the number of people in town every day.
In Ketchikan? Well, when we were there last summer, Tom and I and Gary, it was incessant. The float planes flying overhead and the cruise ships, and it was
crazy.
I thought it was crazy until we got down to Nanaimo, And then I saw what crazy really is.
Well, back in Friday
Nanaimo,
Harbor.
and then Friday Harbor is like
is nuts.
in the summertime, you know.
Yeah.
But see, we just get spoiled up here in Southeast.
And we have just a Oldman. Hi from North Carolina coast. Hi. Thanks for joining us. Just catch everybody up who's just joining us. We are broadcasting today as kind of a joint effort with KFSK to do a little fundraising. We're hoping you will participate with us. So we're pitching. We've got some really cool KFSK mugs. We can see that. These are designed by a local artist here. And Chuck and I have 2 mugs to give away today.
2 mugs.
2 mugs.
2 mugs.
So if you
we're testing them.
Call the toll-free line 888-772-3808. Give a donation, $25 or more. Just say it's for Cruising Lealea, and they'll take your donation, put you on hold, and
become a member. You keep saying give a donation. No, become a member. Become a member. Join the community. Become a member of KFSK Petersburg.
And if you want to find out what else is going on today, KFSK.org. You can live stream the radio program that's going on now. We're not on live stream on the show, but we're of course live streaming through the Google Hangout.
That's right.
But you can live stream KFSK anytime.
And you can download your favorite programs like the Island Music program.
Chuck's Island Music program.
Mondays from 12:30 to 2:30.
Yeah, we usually post on Facebook when you're doing your programs, but yes. That's a regular. You just swap times.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, hi from San Diego. Hey, thanks for joining us. We're kind of just sitting here talking a little bit about KFSK. We just had Alec and Nicole in the studio, did a little fisherman's song for us. We're going to have Tom come.
Yeah, they were performing. They were performing in the main broadcast booth, studio number 1,
so I
where they are broadcasting
over the
airwaves.
Here too. They said,
even as we speak, broadcasting over the airwaves, and you can catch the live stream from the radio live stream from their website, and you can also donate there and see what's going on around town, because there's a lot of news, local news on the
tons of stuff. And I just got a call this morning. Somebody called in, and there was a pod of killer whales heading down Wrangell Narrows. So that's again. So that's the kind of stuff they'll announce on the radio, and everybody races down to the Narrows to get pictures. And I mean, it's just
well,
the station here is about as local as you can get. It's not like, you know, being in San Diego or North Carolina where you have a ton of radio stations to choose from. And it's not about what's going on in your city or your community. And that's the thing about KFSK. You can find out what's going on in town and find out about potlucks and who passed away and who had a baby, and just the local stuff.
It's that small town
if there's an earthquake,
that goes
like
on,
we had a couple of years ago, everybody calls the radio station to find out where to go and what to do. And I mean, it's a very valuable service, especially the outlying communities. We have the Muskeg messages. People can call in and leave a message.
Yeah, well, nowadays we have cell service over most of the island and most of Cupertino.
Yeah, but Thorn Bay, Kaufman Cove, not reliable.
A lot of places, the only way to communicate short of going there is through Muskeg messages read over the local radio station.
Yeah.
You know, like, Bob, when are you going to return those crab pots?
I think we heard that one a few weeks ago, didn't we? All right. So once again, KFSK.
How many watts output? Yeah, I have no idea how many watts output.
Don't you read that on your?
No, it just says.
We'll ask Mindy or Tom when they.
It's an FM station, so it's not. It's not a one of those real flamethrowers like.
But we'll ask Tom when he comes in.
Yeah.
How many watts? I have no idea. Small town is still alive in today's world. Yep, that's why we like it here.
Very much so. And
compared to Honolulu and Seattle and Shoal area.
Well, one thing, it's on an island. Petersburg is on an island. It's on Mitkoff Island. Mitkoff Island is half the size of the island of Oahu.
And what, 3 times the population?
0.03% of the population. There are 3,000 people on this island. There are 1 million people on Oahu.
Yeah.
Oahu being only twice as big as this island. So, you know, there's population density.
Yeah.
But, and it's on an island, so there are no, you know, you can't just drive to the next town if what they have, if they don't have what you want here. There's no mall.
We get a lot
No
of
stops,
Amazon.
no
Amazon
traffic signals.
packages coming through the mail.
No traffic signals. People do a lot of shopping at Amazon, but we do have, there's a decent clothing store. There's
These clothing, they do
two
a great
hardware
job.
stores, two markets, one market, one supermarket. You know, anyway, there's two good places that you can get food, and there's a pizza joint, there's a cafe,
Yeah,
a few small restaurant, coffee shop type things, but there's no place that's open at night for dinner.
Nope. So if
So
you're
we
looking
have-
for a business opportunity, there's a really nice empty restaurant sitting in town that
Yeah.
needs to be bought up, and
That's-
we would love
That's
to have
probably
a
a
nice
reason why
restaurant.
there's no restaurants open, especially in the wintertime. But they do a lot of dinner parties and potlucks and things like that instead of. So it's
There's,
you know,
a
there's
lot
plenty of
stuff going on.
socializing going on.
We have William. Hello from Sacramento Delta, watching from my boat. Isn't technology cool?
Technology's
It's
cool.
like magic.
Just one thought. Here's the thing about Petersburg. It'll tell you a lot about the kind of town it is. There's 12 or 13 churches, depending on whether you count the Salvation Army, and there are 2 bars.
Yep.
So, which is quite unlike some of the other towns like Wrangell, which the ratio is not reversed, but it's close.
It's
you know.
close.
There are more. I think there are more bars than churches in Wrangell. I'm not sure. But anyway, this is like Mayberry of Southeast Alaska. Is what it's like.
It's refreshing. I can. That's why we're still here. Is that we're just meeting some wonderful people, and we're just having a great time in the community.
And we all speak boat. Everybody understands. You don't have to explain anything to someone. You say, "Oh, you're spending the winter on your boat." Oh, yeah. Well, here you're gonna want to try this. You know. Everybody understands. Everybody has lived on their boat here. Everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Coffee dog. I couldn't live any place without good Chinese takeout. You're doomed.
You're not here, man.
We have somebody does Thai during the summer. I don't know.
Well, the Joan Mai restaurant.
Joan Mai has Chinese. You could do takeout.
But they have Chinese takeout.
Questionable, but
the food there is.
David, 87 degrees in South Texas. Oh, Jolly Dodgers here. Greetings again from Norway. Good to see you again.
Awesome.
Thank you. We are glad to have you back.
The temperature here is about
40. 50. Is it? Oh,
it's about probably about 50. I don't have the temperature gauge in this studio. Looking around, no, they don't have one in this studio. They have in the other studio. But it's about 50 degrees outside.
But sun's shining. It's been absolutely gorgeous last couple of days. But it's going to be the last, I think, great hurrah before winter hits. Because it's definitely getting chillier in the mornings.
Yeah, they're expecting to have a warm winter.
Warm, wet winter. Warmer and wetter than usual, which Petersburg gets how many inches of rain? Like 90.
Get a lot. Gets a lot of rain
or something.
It's a rainforest. It's a subarctic rainforest, and we're in the middle of the Tongass. So yeah, it's pretty wet anyway, and it's not ever really cold here.
Well, we're on the same latitude as Friday Harbor.
Where's Friday Harbor? No.
Didn't we? Or where that was Sitka. When we were checking the weather.
No, we're at 54. I think it's 54 where we are right now.
So very mild climate.
In any case, the weather here is pretty mild. It compares very favorably to Northwest Washington or Victoria, that area, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Coffee dog. Thai will do. Yeah, the Thai food's good.
Where do we get Thai food here?
That lady. There's a lady that does the Thai food at the Tides Inn. She rents the thing during the summer at the Tides Inn.
That's right.
So, let's see what else. Oregon
Seasonal.
Here. Storm heading. Oh, we got a storm heading our way. Oh.
Yes, we know.
I didn't hear about that one.
Yeah, but well, Petersburg is tucked in, way back in the back of Frederick Sound, and between Mitkoff Island. We're on the west side of Mitkoff Island, just across the Narrows from Kupanoff Island. It's very, very well sheltered and protected. So big storms can kick up out in the Gulf all they want. You don't really get much.
Yeah, there's not much here, and the new harbor is extremely well protected.
Excuse me.
It's they did a good job with the design. So, one more time, I'm going to pitch coffee mug, KFSK coffee mug. Become a member of KFSK. Usually it's $120 membership to get the mug, but we're saying $25 and we'll mail it to you. If we get $120 membership, I'll throw in the mug and one of my jars of blueberry ketchup.
No.
How's that sound?
No, really? The blueberry ketchup? Oh, man. She's serious.
I am serious.
This is
Anybody
serious.
over $120 gets a mug and a jar of my homemade blueberry ketchup.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
Is that safe?
So 888-772-3808. Give us a call, toll free. Do a donation. Say it's for Cruising Lealea, and I'll pop you on the line, and we'll say hi. Love to hear from you. Seeing stars minus 30.
Minus 30.
Yeah.
Minus
Why would
30
you
in
live
Kentucky.
there?
It didn't get below 20 degrees here in the last 3 years. We're going into our fourth winter, which is supposed to be warmer and wetter than before.
Than ever before.
And the last 3 winters, it hasn't really dropped below 20.
No, it's been really nice, very pleasant.
Not even that much snow, really. We had a couple of snowstorms, but not anything major.
Yeah. Now I'm hoping we can still get the boat out maybe once this year, do a quick in and out trip.
I think the weather is too unpredictable after October 1st. It really is. Look at what's coming up now.
I would like to.
Is Wendell Gilbert here?
Ooh, Wendell Gilbert. Oh, I should probably unplug that. There we go. All right. So what else? Just got back last week on the veterinary vessel Hallie. Dr. Hill and I went out for 8 days, did a rounds in Kaufman Cove, Thorn Bay, doing spays and neuters and vaccinations and wellness exams, and had an absolute blast, as always. Anytime I can combine boating along with dogs and cats, I'm in my happy days. So getting busy at the clinic. Can kind of follow along that with the Waterways Veterinary Clinic on Facebook. And of course, on our Facebook page, the Cruising Lealea Facebook page, we've been trying to post a little bit more there. We've been ignoring the logbook this last several
completely
months. We usually disappear during the summer months anyway. I think we've disappeared a little bit more this summer than usual. I did a lot of posting while you were doing your trip last summer in Williwa, because I didn't have anything better to do while I was waiting to hear from you from place to place.
Well, if this winter goes like last winter did, we're going to have lots of time on our hands.
Yeah, so we're going to be in a house again with Wi-Fi and large coffee table where we can spread our gear out. Chuck promises to do some more writing this winter. You didn't get much done. Yes, you did.
I did not promise.
Yes, you did. We've had a couple of requests for some rigging articles and some other stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to be working on our YouTube channel with some of the videos. We've got a ton of stuff lined up, and it's just this summer it's just come down to time. We just have been busy with the son doing other stuff and playing and having a good time, like I hope you guys are doing. We'd love to hear how your summer went and where you went and what you did, and if you got a new boat. We got a lot of emails from people this last couple of months that had gotten brand new boats and were all excited to get started in their boating careers, I guess, or moving aboard. And I mean, it's just the emails we get are so much fun to read. And
yeah, we love hearing from everybody.
Yeah,
whether
everybody's got a story.
On the YouTube channel, it's a great conversation. I like that because other people can see what we're talking about and join in. But if you just want to keep it, low key and private, just send us an email.
Yeah, pop us an email. Cruising.
We promise not to publish your emails without permission or your email address. We would never do that.
Oh, subdriver.
And you'll never find pop-ups on our webpage either. So there.
If you don't post on YouTube or your webpage, then I assume you moved to Iowa or somewhere. Iowa. No. Iowa? What's in Iowa?
Iowa. Iowa.
Shoot. All right, so once more, KFSK mug. We got 2 up for grabs. Call toll
We don't
free
know
number.
that because we haven't heard
What?
anything from the phone room.
No, we don't know that yet.
Do
I'm
they
sure
know?
they would pop in.
Did you-
I'm going to leave you for a second and go make sure. That
Did
they
you even
'cause
know?
there was a change of
Did they even-
shift. There was a change of shift just as we were
The
coming
shift
in
change.
here.
Okay. Okay. Well, go ahead. Then.
I'll give them a call and let them know.
You
But
can get some more coffee if you want to.
I might do that. You want me to?
Yeah, that'd be good.
I can.
Good for
So
something.
toll free 888-772-3808. Give us a call. Again, pitching any donation, large or small, anything over $25. Become a new member. We'll send you a mug. These are really cool mugs, guys. And t-shirts. They got some cool t-shirts too. Hand me that t-shirt.
Hand me the
back there.
t-shirt. Can I?
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it. Here you go.
There we go. Long sleeve t-shirts. If you can see, KFSK long sleeve t-shirts. The tans are men's. The grays are women's. And they're just nice t-shirts. They're boaty and they're cool. And like I said, nothing screams boating town like a fishing vessel on the KFSK stuff. I mean,
Well, Mindy says that it's FSK from Lutefisk.
Lutefisk. Yeah.
It's Little Norway, Lutefisk, somehow.
Yeah, and Jolly Dodger should know what the Lutefisk is.
I suppose.
Is it? Oh, actually, when Glo comes in, didn't she win the Lutefisk?
She won the
She won the Lutefisk.
pickled herring.
Yeah.
No, the pickled herring contest, wasn't it?
Was it? Well, I think she does Lutefisk too. Lois does Lutefisk certainly.
Well, I know Lois is famous for her lutefisk, but
Yeah.
I think Glo won the pickled herring contest.
Yeah. So exciting times.
That's the way it is here. These are important things. You have to know who makes the best pies and who wins the pie eating contest.
We asked the driver, "What's in Iowa?" He says, "Nothing." Sounds like you need to move.
Sometimes that can be a good thing, you know.
Well, what else have we got going?
You were going to go find out what's going on.
I'm going to go, yeah, I'm
inform
going to
those
go
people.
pop in and check in with the people on the phone, make sure they know that we're in here doing what we're doing. And I'm going to leave Chuck all by himself here to keep you entertained. God help you all. I'll be right back. Don't embarrass me.
So I don't want to hear a word about me talking over Laura, okay? Not a word about it. And that's the way it is. So here we are. This is the way we got started in the town here with the radio station. We just kind of walked into their membership drive fundraiser the first week of October in 2012, started meeting people. And the next thing you know, we're just kind of totally integrated into the community here. But it's a community of fishermen and boaters and mariners, professional mariners, and people who make their living from the sea, and people whose loved ones make their living from the sea. The fathers, the sons, the daughters, everybody. And every household has at least 1 or 2 boats, and they understand about these things. A lot of people disappear for months at a time while they're out fishing or out cruising or otherwise making their living on the sea in the summertime. So it's, it would be no surprise for anybody if we did it. This past year, we took care of a house and some pets for some fishermen who were out doing their thing. Oh, what do we got? Here's Laura came back with more coffee.
And I have
Oh.
Yeah, that's the other cool thing about the
Food.
Fundraisers.
There's stop by the studio.
There's always food going.
Stop by the studio and get some food. That looks.
Ooh.
Can I have just a bite of that?
Here.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh my God.
Brownie time. Oh my gosh, I made some of my grandma's fudge the other day. I'll have to put that recipe. I will post that recipe on our logbook.
That should be illegal.
But it's a fudge recipe my grandmother gave me, and very easy, very boater friendly to make. You could probably have the recipe, but the recipe that I have makes like 5 pounds of fudge. But quick, easy thing to do for
Oh my, that's good.
boat or snacks while you're out. But Mindy should be joining us here shortly. She's going to share some of her favorite boating recipes.
Okay.
Aboard for I think shrimp and a couple of other different things. Let's see. We have
When
John.
she comes in, I'll step over to the other broadcast booth. And
Yeah. We have John B. Is there a sailing maintenance book you would recommend? Don Casey.
Don Casey, his first one I think was This Old Boat. And then there's another one. He did one specifically on electronics. There's one called, I think it's Evaluating the Aging Sailboat. Or anyhow, he's got several books out, and at least one of them is a all-encompassing volume that has several of them combined. But definitely This Old Boat and Don Casey. And I encourage everyone to read another book by Don Casey and another guy whose name I can't remember. It's called Sensible Cruising, the Thoreau Approach.
Yeah.
And, read it and just think about it. It's not for everybody,
Well, that was one of the first books that you read, along with...
It's there for the three-legged stool types,
The three-legged stool types?
Sure, why do you need 4 legs? 3 legs will do. But it is enlightening, if you read that book and take it for what it's worth, the Thoreau Approach, and realize that you don't need every gadget that they advertise in Cruising World magazine.
Well, that's all marketing.
That's all marketing.
That is all marketing.
And that's how we made our living, so we understand that.
Yeah, but the advertisers, they pay to advertise in the magazines, and of course the magazines, that's how they make their money is through the advertisers and promoting products that you've got to have. You have to have this in order to go cruising. And we've had this conversation as far as people spend so much time getting ready to cruise, they never actually go.
And we're not Luddites. I mean, I'm not suggesting you take your axe and whipsaw out into the pasture and build yourself a boat like Joshua Slocum.
But you could.
Kill a cow and render it down to make tallow candles for your running lights. Well, why not? No, this is the modern world. Harbors are not designed for engineless sailboats that have to anchor. You're expected to motor into a slip, and so you should be able to do that, and you should have navigation lights that can be seen, which means you have to have electric power. But there's no reason why you have to have every new electronic gadget under the sun.
It's a mic thing. Did either of you read the Alban Vega manual? That would be a yes.
The Alban Vega, you mean the one that comes with the boat?
Yeah, and
the
is on
owner's handbook.
The owner's handbook, which
there's a PDF on the American Vega website.
Yeah. You need to become a member of the Vega Association.
No, not to see that.
Oh, not to see the manual?
Not to see that. No.
Oh, okay. Free access to that?
Yeah.
It's just the old
newsletters and the Vega, what is it? Vega Owner's Repair and Maintenance Manual that was, all of the accumulated tips and stuff that came in from the members of the old American Vega Association.
Yeah.
I should just take the password off of that and let everybody have
reference. I mean, they had Sid had years and years and years of people writing in and talking about how they fix different things. Of course, you have the not Google, but the Vega site. Now.
Yeah, if you want to access all that stuff about from the 70s and 80s and 90s from the American Vega Association, it's on. You go to AmericanVega.org and fill out a little form with your email address in it, and send it to the membership, and then we'll send you the password. Doesn't take. All you have to do is surrender your email address.
Yeah. Let's see. Someone asked the name of the boat maintenance book, and it's the Art of Sailboat Maintenance by Don Casey.
There you go.
Great.
He has several books. They're all good.
Oh yeah. Engine repair.
They're all excellent. They're all excellent. And
wiring, and he covers it pretty
Is that the one that combines the rest of them? The Art of Sailboat Maintenance?
I think it is.
No. That's Frank Mate.
Num num. Okay, so with a brand new hot cup
There
of
are
coffee,
lots of books out there about sailboat maintenance. I think Don Casey's are the best, or at
Probably
least
the
from
best.
an American standpoint, the most understandable.
Understanding them helps. So once again, a pitch for donation to KFSK. Donate, become a new member, minimum $25. We will mail you a mug. Any donations over $100, we'll send you a mug, and I'll send you a jar of my homemade
Get more brownie.
blueberry ketchup. So call in toll free 888-772-3808. Tell the girls you're with Cruising Lealea or calling for Cruising Lealea. They'll patch you through, and we'll say hi. So we are going to be laying a little low again this winter, working on website maintenance. I don't know if Tom has joined us yet, but Tom Parento is going to be helping us with our website. We need to touch bases with him. We're going to be converting the whole site over to a new format here coming up within the next few months. Hopefully a little bit more interactive. The thing about our logbook is it's really hard to post to. And so it's time consuming. It's not that easy to use.
We haven't been doing a good job of communicating over the summer, and technology has kind of passed us by. There are better ways to do the things that we're doing, and so we have to look at all that stuff. We have to become more educated, and just
well, it's just a matter of plunking down for hours at a time in front of the computer, and that's where I have the hardest time. You will sit and edit a video, and it'll take you sometimes 8 or 9 hours to edit one video.
Well, I can't do that without moving back.
And it's really hard to just make yourself sit for that length of time and just
I'll be back in a minute.
in front of
I'm going to open the door.
Are you?
For one thing. Yeah, I am.
Oh, okay. It'll get kind of loud.
Is it loud out there?
You're leaving me?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, yeah, so we've got a lot of projects on the boat coming up. Of course, Chuck just swapped out the batteries here recently. We've got some fiberglassing to do. We really need to completely gut the interior and redo it, which we're not sure. We're hoping to find someone here in Petersburg that's able to do the woodworking for us. But if not, it'll be, it's going to have to wait until next spring when we pull out of here, head to Seattle area and pull into Port Townsend, which means we're hoping a 2 to 3 month haul out at max. And got the interior. We've got whole bunch of new woodworking. I want to reinstall the kitchen cabinets, get some new cabinets in there, the door sliders. If you are familiar with the Vega, they've got the wooden sliders on there. I had seen on an older Vega in one of our rendezvous many, many years ago, they had Lexan sliders instead of the wood sliders, and they were smoked Lexan doors, and they looked just stunning. But of course, that means all of that frontage and all the doors and all the woodwork have to get removed, which is a substantial project, and not looking forward to it. It's going to take some time. But first and foremost, we need to find somebody that's capable of doing that kind of work and that doesn't mind doing it. We talk to a lot of people doing the woodwork. They're capable of doing the woodwork, but you talk to them about doing it on a boat and they start backing away rapidly. It's really hard to get people who enjoy working with wood to work on a boat because nothing's square, and nothing will drive somebody who's used to making sure everything's perfect crazier than not having a square area to work with.
Yeah, levels and squares, things you don't need on a boat.
Crazy. Let's see, Coffee Dog. Lag is making timely chat a pain, so I'll shut up for now. Oh, is there a lag? Are we having issues with our bandwidth? Just mention that.
Could be.
Could be. Let's see, just found out Don Casey book 84% off here in UK. Wow. Dragged aboard, ordered, and now looking for others. Good job, John. Yeah, those are some great books. We've got several of Don Casey's books on board for reference. We've had many of them over the years, and there's just some books that you have on board that always stay on board. We've got, of course, Chapman's is one of our biggest ones.
We have had a Chapman's on board for 25 years, and I don't think I've opened it.
More than a couple of times.
I mean, you know, except for in the beginning, you know, learning the rules of the road and the signals and things like that. And you know, occasionally you want to figure out what a flag is, what a certain, you know, national flag or something like that.
Yeah.
But the edition that we have is 25 years old. I probably should get rid of it. And if I'm going to keep it, get a new one.
Yeah, keep it, get a new one. Huh. Okay, here, no lag, and Coffee Dog, it's on my end. Sorry, dude. We're still got some work to do with the Google Chat thing. I think I have to upload some software. I didn't have the guts to do it last night right before the broadcast, so probably if I upload the software, we'll get a little bit different of a look with this program and be able to actually bring up the windows with the people that are joining us, but haven't gotten that tech savvy yet. So hang with us and we'll get it figured out one of these days.
Our whole internet presence is dated, I guess you could say. We need to update it and get more more up to date, I suppose, with the technology that's available. New platforms, new.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing about converting over our website is that it'll be more friendly for phones.
Yeah. Well, that's
and
that's a whole big cumbersome thing that we struggled with during the summer because we had other things to do. And
yeah, we just didn't. It's going to take, to convert our whole website over to a different format, it's probably going to take 2 to 3 weeks of just solid, just nose to the grindstone. We can pay to have somebody do it, but it's what, $750.
That's more than I want to pay somebody else to do.
No, pass. I'll do it myself. But it's going to be time consuming, and I just haven't.
Sometimes I'm cheap, you know.
Sometimes.
All right, I'm more often than not.
That's all right.
Thrifty.
That's why we're able to do what we're doing. We were having an interesting conversation last night about budgets again.
Again?
Well, we were talking about your foot and the totals for beer, booze and cigarettes and all of that stuff.
Let's say we got.
Oh, Portugal! Wow,
Yay!
Ricardo.
All right.
Thanks
hi,
for
Ricardo.
joining us. Awesome.
Lealea getting a total refit eventually. We've been planning it for the last couple of years.
Yeah, and of course, the longer we stay here, the worse it gets. These last few winters have been really hard on the boat. When we got here, we figured we had another year before we needed to refit, and that was
2 years ago. Well, we're going on our fourth winter, yeah. So.
And so, yes, we are going to have to.
She needs a total refit. I'm envisioning, you know, of course, the mast will come down. Chances are new standing rigging, and of course, everything downstream from that, running rigging. The exterior paint job was new in 1996, so, you know, and it's been through some harsh weather, a lot of miles on it. So the exterior paint, and of course, before that, the gel coat was already gone. So
yeah, so
we've got
the all grip on there, which
so it needs a new paint
job.
It's lasted a long time, but it needs to be redone. And of course, that means the boat has to be stripped. All of the fittings off the outside.
That's the outside, and then
inside, you know,
we have a change for the inside that we want to make.
We want to do some remodeling. A lot of, virtually all of the original woodwork that's still left in the boat is showing signs, getting old. It's starting. There are places where it's delaminating from the moisture, and
because it's a Sapelli laminate on the doors.
Yeah, it's a Sapelli veneered plywood. It's held up really well, better than some of the newer stuff that we've added to it. But we have replaced about a third of the, 2/3 of the interior woodwork in the boat already. But we're gonna have to replace the rest of it, and we have a redesign that we're thinking of. So yeah, that's what's happening there. We are definitely, it's going to be a total refit.
Have we found any delamination in Lealea? Not in the hull. There's no.
Oh, you're talking about osmotic delamination of the fiberglass? No, absolutely not. And Lealea has never been stored out of the water for more than a few weeks.
Yeah. So no blisters. We don't. Well, there's never been a recorded instance of a blister.
To the best of my knowledge, there's been no osmotic blistering into the fiberglass laminate on a Vega, on any Vega.
Because of when they were made. What is it, after 70?
Well, the last one, it's hard for me to tell. It's hard to tell when exactly the last one was made. Somewhere between 75 and 79, depending on who you ask. So, but I can tell you for a fact that anything built before 1975 will have far less chance of osmotic blistering or delamination or water intrusion into the laminate.
Let's see, what format is your website in?
Oh, it's Network Solutions, whatever their website builder tool is. We're wanting to change it over to WordPress, and we've got help going with that. So it's just us.
It's just a matter of putting in the time.
We haven't taken the time to do the work.
I'm just grinding my feet.
Yeah.
Slog.
So we've got that all worked out, the hosting and what we're trying to do. We just got a few technical things and some time.
Put the time in. Lealea's refit would be a great video series. Yes, it's going to be a lot of work, and yep, it will certainly be a lot involved, and yeah, some great video opportunity. But we still have a lot of video from our last haul out that we've never done anything with.
And as Season Stars is pointing out in his refit experience, finding out that there are new materials. We started running into new materials when we were rigging the boat back in 2008, 2007 actually, and talking with Brian Toss about that. So next time we rig, we may not use steel. We may use something different. And interior for the interior woodworking, when we get there, we'll investigate. We'll talk to the professionals at Port Townsend, because it's the best place we know of, the most knowledgeable and skilled people that we know about.
Or we'll just haul it to the East Coast and do it there.
Well, that's a possibility too, haul to the East Coast, but we don't know anything about the East Coast.
Yeah, we've got experience in Port Townsend with the boatyard.
Partly it's going to depend on what new laws they passed.
As far as what you can do, because some areas you can't even grind the bottom yourself and paint it. You have to have somebody else do it. So there's a lot of restrictions coming down.
Port Townsend.
And we want to be able to do as much work as we can ourselves.
Yeah, when we were there last, you were not allowed to sand the bottom.
Yeah.
You weren't allowed to strip the bottom yourself at all. So, but you were allowed to lay the paint on.
Yeah.
After it was wet.
Let's see, NOYLDDOT. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that one. Thanks for posting your journey. How do you guys feel about spending all those years in warm Hawaii and now you're in cold Alaska? We love it here.
I love yours.
Weather isn't everything. It's certainly nice being warm all the time, but there's other things to life. And gosh, we've had so many opportunities here that we never got while we were in Hawaii. Even Chuck living there for 30 years. There's just a lot of stuff going on in this community that's just...
Hawaii is the 180-degree opposite of Alaska in every way. Every way. And it's changed from population density to economic base to politics, the land area, in every way. Yeah. It's different, and the climate is different. Although it's not as harsh here in Southeast as many people think of when you think of Alaska.
When you think of Alaska, yeah, it's pretty relatively mild, actually.
It's relatively mild. It's a little wetter than Seattle, right here in Petersburg, but down in Wrangell it's not.
Yeah.
And the temperatures are about the same. The last 3 winters that we were here, it never got much below 20. If it did, I don't think it ever dipped quite below 20 degrees centigrade. I mean Fahrenheit. 20 degrees centigrade. 20 degrees Fahrenheit. In any winter. Of course, it never got above 70. So.
But still, I mean, as far as boating opportunities here, compared to Hawaii, the boating opportunities in Hawaii are few and far between. You couldn't take off for a weekend, really, and go do anything. You could go to Molokai.
No, it's just because everything's so far away.
A quick trip.
Everything's so far away there. So, Cruising wise, the places to go, things to see from a boat. Alaska has it all over Hawaii.
Tony, hello from Barcelona. Wow, thanks for joining us. And since we got a few new viewers, so I'm going to do my pitch one more time for those of you who've listened to it before. Hold your ears. So we're here helping with the fundraiser for KFSK, and I'm going to show you this mug here. Really cool mug. Cool.
That's right.
Boater ceramic, boat-friendly
Cruising
mug.
Lealea is sponsoring a mug giveaway. So anyone who calls in and becomes a member of KFSK Petersburg Community Radio will get a mug. Normally, you'd have to donate a minimum donation of $120 to get this mug.
But today,
thanks to Cruising Lealea, that's us, we're sponsoring it. We are giving away the first and second person who call in at 888-772-3808. I'll give you that number again later. The first two people who call in and become members of KFSK Petersburg is $25 for an individual membership, I believe.
Yeah.
Not 120. A mere 25.
If you do 120,
and
I'm
we
going
will
to send you some blueberry ketchup.
One of these mugs. One of these two mugs.
We
we'll wash
promise
them
to wash them first.
And we will send them to you. That number again, toll free, 888-772-3808. 772-3808.
There you go. Very cool. And of course, Chuck is on the air regularly now on Monday afternoons.
I do the Island
Music.
My program I call the Island Music Program, and it's on Street Beat on Monday. It's the Street Beat time slot on Mondays, which is 12:35 Alaska Standard Time to 2:30.
It is my
Alaska
name
Standard
backwards.
What?
It is my name backwards.
Oh, okay. Really?
So, gosh, it's too bad Nicole wasn't still here. It'd be fun to have another song. If you missed earlier the start of our broadcast, maybe pop back and watch it a little bit later. We had a couple of folks here from town. Alec and Nicole, they are regular artists in town. They participate with pretty much all musical events here. And just a great couple, great guitar, great voice. They came in and played a little fishing ditty for us. So go back and watch that. They're neat people, and they're really good artists. We've sat and listened to them several times at several events, and they're just fun to listen to. And obviously enjoy what they do very, very much.
Yep. So yeah, what was I going to say?
I don't know. See, Sailcraft.
Sailcraft
Is that
Service
Sailcraft?
Boat. www.sailcraftserviceboatyard.com.
North Carolina. Yeah, there's a lot of options as to where we could go and what we could do with the refit. We're hoping.
Yeah, because the options are so many. We have to narrow the options way down.
Yeah.
And from doing the refit at Port Townsend and then trailering it to a launch point of convenience. Could be in the southeast, could be in the Great Lakes, could be anywhere in between. The Mississippi, the Hudson River, who knows? Or all the way to Maine. Or we could take it someplace on the East Coast, like, what is this?
Is it
Sailcraft Service.
Yeah,
Sailcraft Service,
North Carolina.
Oriental.
Yeah, tons of options. From Port Townsend, we're probably going to put it on a trailer, truck it across to the East Coast. Road trip.
Looking forward to that. Would like to get started on it. Thought we would already have been there, but it just doesn't happen yet.
It takes us a while to cruise. Is that the right way to say it? We enjoy stopping and hanging out wherever we are. That's the thing about some folks cruising that I'm always, if you drop hook in one place and pick it up the very next morning and then just bounce from place to place, you never really get to know. You can say you've been there, but you can't really say that you've experienced it. And I can certainly say we've experienced Petersburg now. We've experienced San Francisco. We've experienced Friday Harbor. And we hang out in the places and we get to know the communities.
Yeah. Well, that's true. That's true. But a lot of people, what was the old 7 Islands in 5 days? We see a lot of people that will cruise into an
Bounce
anchorage
around, yeah.
an hour before sunset, launch their kayaks, paddle around, and then the next morning they're gone before we finish our breakfast. And you see that all the time. It's like a parade of people.
And then we'll
that
sit
comes
and
through.
hang out and watch the birds that are, flying around in the nest over in the corner, or the seals that always play on that rock in the morning or afternoon. And you're going to experience the place that you go to a little
some people
bit.
have limited time.
Yeah.
And
well, that's where you're not
most
really
people have
cruising
limited
then.
time.
Yeah.
Most people have limited time.
That's summer vacation rather than cruising, I think. Cruising is just going where you want and when you want and setting your own schedule and your own pace and not having to be from point A to point B in X frame of time. Let's see. Oh, that's where Drake did his.
Have you worked in radio before?
You have a good radio voice, Chuck.
No, I haven't ever worked in radio before. Never. Until we came here, and then I thought, well, I can play records on the radio. I'll give it a shot.
Well, not just records, some fantastic music that is no longer heard in Hawaii in a lot of areas, because you lived there for 30 years.
Well, it's just my music collection,
Yeah, but you went to a lot of concerts that were bands who were, came and went over the years that don't exist anymore. You bought the CDs after the shows, and you have that music that you'll never be able to find again anywhere.
But yeah, I have a big collection of music that I play on the Island Music Program. Mondays on KFSK Petersburg. You can live stream it, or you can download the podcast afterwards.
Oh, Fitzpaul. Hey, guys. Greetings from the Netherlands. Thanks for joining us again. Awesome. Right. Good to see ya.
People far and wide listening to the program. Here we are. Here we are in Southeast Alaska, this little burg on a little island with bears and moose.
Bears and moose.
Big thing in the news this, last couple of weeks.
Illegal moose taken this year.
Illegal moose taken this year.
Boom.
If it's not enough to just have antlers, they have to have antlers of a certain size. And if they're not big enough, after they're down, you go and measure them and you find out they're not big enough. You got an illegal moose on your hands.
There you go.
And you have to still do everything you would have done if you got to keep it, but they take it away from you.
Well, it gets donated.
It gets donated, but you don't get it.
You don't get it. Oh, well. Yeah, but
it was they had 7 or 8 illegal moose in the first
so
week.
Far this season.
No, it's been more than that. It's been like 15 now so far this season, and they expect the harvest to be about a total of about 110 moose in the borough area, the Mitkoff Island, Kupernoff Island, and over on the mainland over there.
I still have some video I need to post from Hallie's last trip to Thorn Bay. We were out having breakfast, Dr. Hill and I, and we noticed a little bear cub across the bay, and sat and watched him munch on a salmon, and then he just struck off swimming across the bay. So I've got some video of him. This tiny little bear calf just bear cub hoofing it across. Little bear cub hoofing it across the bay. Man, can they swim fast? Holy crow! I couldn't believe how fast he was swimming. It was really cool.
Let that be a lesson to you. Imagine how fast Mama can swim.
Yeah, you want to be cautious of those guys. Holy crow! What else is going on around town?
Tomorrow is the tailgate party. No, the tailgate party at the Moose Lodge. We're talking about moose, and you forgot about the moose. Butterfly pork chop sandwiches with onion, potatoes, and salad.
Butterfly
and of
pork
course chop. Beer. They're serving at the Moose Lodge. I think it's $18.
Yeah, 18 a plate. Sounds like it's going to be good.
And our own Mindy Anderson, who does the What's for Dinner program and the In the Garden program here on KFSK Petersburg, and her husband Rob are going to be Rodney are going to be cooking.
Who's a kick-ass chiropractor right here. So if you need a chiropractor in Petersburg, hey Glo, come on in.
Hey.
Pull up a chair. Hey everybody, this is Glo. She is our harbor master.
I just pull up this one. Yeah, just throw that stuff on the floor.
Yeah, there you go. So this is Glo Wollen. She is our harbor master in Petersburg.
Hello, everybody.
So we have quite a few folks, and we have somebody from Norway here too.
Oh, nice. Hey, look at that. I've got wearing my Norwegian
There we
sweatshirt.
go. Very cool.
Well, they don't call this place Little Norway
Little
for
Norway
nothing.
for nothing. Absolutely. Let's see. Oh no, they are not serving illegal moose burgers at the. at the
They're not
tailgate
serving
party.
illegal moose burgers at the Fisherman's Net Cafe.
Shoot.
I have it on good authority that those are perfectly legal moose.
So, Glo, you want to just talk about the harbor or something interesting? Anything?
You talk about the harbor or something
sure.
interesting.
Yeah.
Sure,
The way she said that.
Yeah. No.
Well,
You've been harbor master for how long now?
well, I actually, this is my 5th year as being the head honcho, but I've been there since I was 17, and so I just completed my 27th year of working there.
Wow.
So, yeah, since high school. So, yeah. So,
And-
anyway, it's a great harbor. We're have about 600 stalls,
Yep.
all various sizes. We can accommodate boats up to a couple hundred feet, and yeah, we have permanent stalls. If anybody's interested in getting a permanent stall, we drug you guys in and signed you up.
And
But,
it is a great harbor. But the North Harbor is brand spanking new, and the South and Middle harbors are in good shape. And it's a very, very well-run harbor. I've been in a lot of harbors.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's
Glo.
not
Yeah.
It's not a yacht club. It's not.
It's a working
I wouldn't
harbor.
call it a marina. It's a
Yeah.
working harbor, and people are working in the harbor. But everything is in great shape, and everything works. And the harbor staff is there to take care of you if you need any help with anything. So it's one of the best. Certainly one of the two, or no more than two. Certainly one of the two best harbors we've ever been in.
Yep.
And for year round, it takes the cake completely.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Good to know. Yeah, we are. We're lucky, and most of our staff came out of the fleet, so we can put ourselves into the, into the arena of, we know what the boaters are, where they're coming from, and what they're looking for, and how to, kind of handle accommodate their needs, depending on if they're going to be here for a while and want a quieter situation, or if they want to be uptown, in the middle
the
of it
thick of it
all,
all,
because
yeah.
they don't have vehicles and things like that. That's
Well,
the nice
the cool
part
thing
about
the
our.
harbor with Hammer and Weekon. I mean, you can call
Yeah.
the grocery store and they'll come pick you up at the harbor, take you shopping, drop you
Yeah.
back off. So, I mean, as far as
Or you can walk to the trading
You can
union
walk
that
to
it's
the
a block
trading
and a
union.
half from the harbor office, right?
smaller market,
Smaller
the bigger
market, but it's,
up top, but
it's there.
have
You can
most
walk to
everything.
it. You can walk up to the hardware store right across from the harbor.
Yeah, that's I guess the beauty of Petersburg, that it's centered around the harbor and everything's walking distance, and we're able.
Fitzpaul, most beautiful harbor master live ever seen.
Oh,
Well,
thank you. Thank you.
Did you see more of an increase in cruising boats coming through this year?
I actually, every year I try and tally up at the end of September, first part of October, see how many stops we've had. Now that might be, more than one night for a boat, but we had over 5,000 transient stops this summer.
Wow.
So that's from May till last week. So that's higher than usual. Usually we'll have anywhere from about 3,800 to maybe creeping up to about 5,000. So we're on the high end.
We're on the high
Yeah,
end.
and a part of it is because of the facility. I think upgrades, and it's so accommodating. And
Do you think the yachting being number one in the yachting magazine?
well,
had any
and
impact?
we've done some other promotional
Ricardo thinks
stuff. We
Ricardo
have-
agrees. He says that he'd like for the harbor masters in Portugal to be as pretty as
Oh.
those in Alaska.
That's nice. But we, so we might have it. It certainly might have helped. I just got actually off the phone this morning with a fellow who's putting together a Nordhaven group, and they're planning a 3-day stay in Petersburg
Oh, very cool.
because we have a facility that can handle it. And they, instead of just spending one night, they're kind of doing their Alaska base program in Petersburg this next year in the middle of July. So they're renting the Sons of Norway and going to do kind of a bigger deal. And I think it might have come out of that.
Very cool. Any idea how many boats yet?
Well, right now he said they have 19 signed up.
Wow.
And
that's awesome.
he asked me if they should stop promoting it. And I said, no, keep promoting it. We'll accommodate you. Again, because we are commercial, we're lucky enough here to have such a big commercial fleet. They go for the summer, and so then we can sublet their stalls out.
So, and when is that going to be?
That is, they're shooting for the 8th, 9th, and 10th of July.
Oh, so if you have a if you have that type of boat, come on in or contact.
Yeah, he said they have 42 footers, or he sent me the list, and it's 42 through 72 foot. So all kind of ocean-going boats, so that they can. So anyway, so that's kind of something we're already planning for next year.
And of course, well, the drive down dock doesn't really affect visitors here, but what a great facility to use. We've used that on the heli a couple of times.
Isn't that nice?
It's just been a boom for you guys.
It really has. It's all about efficiencies here, the Norwegian way. And yes, that has really, really helped our fleet and the whole community.
Harbor master is thinking like a sailor. So much better for us. Yeah, you've been boating
my whole life. Yep, I grew up fishing in the ocean on my family-owned fishing boat. We would freeze our catch, so we would go 2-3 months in between, coming back to a community like Seward or out west or Sitka or something like that. But yeah, so I grew up on the water, and every time I get on the radio to assign a stall, I kind of put myself in that position of what, especially if it's their first time here, what they're going to see and describe them, so that it is helpful.
Makes it easier for them to come in.
Yeah.
We love the harbor staff here. Everybody is just, they're awesome. All the staff is awesome here. Very accommodating. It took the first fall.
Took the first fall for everybody. Slipped on the ice for the first time this season.
Okay.
Went and got his bag of salt.
Yeah.
Took care of it.
Yeah. I know. I was talking to the state manager at the airport, and he said this is the early freeze for us, even this early part of October. He said we haven't had that in a while. They have to keep track of it, so he's looking through the records.
I didn't. I was kind of
might be a little bit of
now.
It might be a little.
Usually a little closer to Halloween.
Yeah. When I was a kid, we used to trick or treat in the snow, but we haven't done that for a long time.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, any pitch you want to make for the harbor?
Well, come
visit. Besides, come visit.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of Southeast Alaska. Probably, I think a lot of sailors or a lot of boaters first time to the area get here and realize that it's a lot bigger. There's a lot more to see and do and experience. So we get a lot of people that winter over. So perhaps some of your viewers will consider that, stopping over, and
That's right.
We get a lot of foreign people that'll come, and then they'll go back to the old country and come back, and then continue on the next summer.
And there's dry storage available too.
That's right.
You don't have to keep it.
That's right.
Yeah,
there's dry storage here that you can have your boat stored out of the water.
Yeah, John Murgis does a great job.
We met some cruisers when we first got here that were doing exactly that. The people we met in Sitka, who we wound up here with at the same time. Albert and Adva, and they put their boat up.
Yeah.
For the winter.
Yeah, and it's really nice.
Yeah, Polar Bound came through. He left his boat in the water, but Polar Bound has been through here. Did you see more sail? It seems like we saw more masts sticking out of the harbor this year.
More stick boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that. We have a couple that are doing just that. They're going to winter over here and then continue on. And actually, we had a couple that just going through here last week that are going to try the Northwest Passage next year. And so
do you remember the name of the boat?
I don't.
Putting you on the spot. Sorry.
They were German.
Not supposed to do that.
And I think they're going to haul their boat out in Hoona and then try and go across the Gulf and up into the Bering Sea and be poised ready then when things open up next summer. So so it's kind of interesting. We've gotten a lot more of that where people are.
transiting through
Yeah.
and staying.
Mhm.
Well, the facilities are here, so why not take advantage of
Yeah.
them?
So anyway. Yeah. So,
Not sure your 22-foot Pandora will make it from where?
John was called. I think it was San Diego. Was John San Diego? Sure, I'll have to go back up and check. We've got Portugal in with us,
okay.
and Norway, and some folks from North Carolina and San Diego, and so
Nice.
all over the place. If you haven't chimed in,
The
where
Netherlands,
you're,
wasn't there someone from the
yeah,
Netherlands
there was some
today?
from the
Yeah.
Netherlands. If you haven't chimed in where you're from, just chime in, let us know where you are. And if you have any questions for Glo, now's the time. She was kind enough just to take a few minutes off work and stop in and say hi.
I'm going to give my pledge and see what you guys are up to.
Cool. And
We pledged yesterday. It was Double Mug Monday.
yeah.
Oh, yes.
Double Mug Monday. So we got our
Yes.
2 mugs.
Oh,
and
good.
we're
Good. Yeah.
we're giving them away.
Yeah.
We're
Nice.
going to wash them first, and then we're going to give them
Those are
away.
nice boat mugs.
Anybody who
are.
calls in,
Yep.
anybody who calls in 888-772-3808 from this broadcast, and tell the phone people that you're calling for Cruising Lealea, and you pledge your membership, you can have a mug
And
for
if you do,
only $25 instead of
the
$120 that you would have to pay to get the mugs.
Nice.
And
normally.
if you do over $100, you were going to get a mug and a jar of my blueberry ketchup.
Which I've tried. It's very good. These are my dog walkers as well, and so they're the best. We're pretty thrilled that they're decided
Yeah,
to
Glo's-
stop off here in Petersburg for
Those dogs are my little buddies.
forever, for the rest of their lives.
From Cork, Ireland. Hey, John.
Oh, wow.
Thanks for joining us. Very cool.
Oh,
And Virgin Islands. Yep, Coffee Dog, Virgin Islands.
I want to get to Ireland
We
someday.
have a question for Glo, Jonathan Reese. In Alaska, any weather emergencies impact you? Here in the Carolinas, we are drying out from a hurricane near miss. Docks 3 feet underwater. Have
wow.
you had any dock emergencies here besides cruise ships hitting them?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was just looking at that project we're doing. Relatively speaking, we are probably the most protected harbor in Southeast. We are 80 miles offshore, up against the mainland. So probably the worst trouble we would have is if we get a lot of snow, then that'll sometimes, damage things and that kind of thing. But as far as like a tsunami or something like that, everything else will have to go under before we do, because we're so far off.
Yeah, because we'll get Baranoff Island out there,
Yeah.
and what's the next
Yeah.
one? And
Admiralty.
Admiralty, and then we're way back in the
and-
corner,
Yeah.
up against the mainland between Kupreanof and
But
mainland.
stranger things, have happened. You look up like the Valdez situation, back in the 60s when that happened. That was just sloughing of a delta, and that same thing could happen on the Stikine, and then we'd be
They kind of
done.
moved, yeah.
We'd be.
But
done
at
for,
least
so.
like in San Francisco, when we were there during the tsunami, when the docks went up like 4
Yeah.
feet and back down.
The last
The
tsunami we
facilities here.
had that it raised Sitka. This was 2 years ago, I think, a couple of feet. We didn't even notice it because it was on a low tide. But yeah, we've had we definitely in other places in Alaska. My dad was fishing offshore Fairweather Grounds when the Lituya Bay occurrence happened.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we grew up with all of those stories.
Yeah.
And things like that, but relatively speaking, we're lucky now. Other places in Southeast would really be susceptible.
Yeah, it's well protected. There are barrier islands between us and the Gulf of Alaska. There's lots of weather out there, but what we feel in here is, we get, I think it winds up to 40 knots and cold weather sometimes.
Those kind of things happen on a high tide. Our tidal range at the extreme is like 22 to 24 feet. So we'll get a -4, maybe going up to a 19 foot. We do have here in the middle of next week, we'll have a 20.6. That's a real high
that's a high
tide for
tide.
us. So even our tidal range isn't as high as it is out west or you know, up in the Bering Sea or something like that. So we're lucky. We are.
This is
I
a wonderful
mean,
little
gosh,
place. It's a little slice of heaven.
Let's see, where else? Where are you? Lawrence,
Yeah.
Mississippi? Washington, the state of Washington, Northwest Washington, perhaps? And your boat is high and dry.
High and dry.
Yeah, and being
Formosa.
high and dry in someplace like Port Townsend can be dangerous because they get some serious wind howling
yeah.
through that boatyard there where they
Yeah.
store boats. I mean, we were there on the Hard and we got 60-knot winds, didn't we?
Yeah. They
Yeah.
had to, all the guys had to come through and check all the stands and secure everything up. And we were just talking with some folks in Thorn Bay on a sailboat Tokata, and they said the scariest moment that they had ever had, they hauled out, were on the grid, and the winds were expected to be 10 to 15. They got up and they were at 70.
Where?
In Thorn Bay.
Oh, really?
And
okay.
it was low tide. They were tied up, and the winds were so much that the keel was starting to slip.
Ooh, yeah.
He said that was the most frightened they've ever been.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then, of course, those folks in Polar Bound with Alfred and those British folk, that British couple in Polar Bound, which is
ballistic boat. I think you could take it upside down and scoosh it in the
looks
water
like a tank,
a few times.
You know, it's real heavy steel yacht.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, people are doing it. People are doing it.
Well,
and
they had a lot of backup too. He would be able to
well,
park the boat
but
somewhere.
Matt didn't.
No, Matt didn't. Matt was solo nonstop. But Polar Bound, they had a crew following them around. He could drop anchor somewhere and have somebody swing in on a helicopter and pick him up.
I don't think I want to do it. I mean, I don't want to deliberately make myself uncomfortable.
No.
For no reason. And it just seems to me like it would be an uncomfortable trip.
Yeah.
From all reports, even if the ice is melted,
it's still cold.
There's still it's still cold. There's still a lot of fog and a lot of ice. So it doesn't really appeal to me.
Yeah. Sorry guys, we lost you. Obviously the broadband, we lost internet connection there for a moment. So thanks for popping back in with us. Going to be going for probably about another 40 minutes here.
40 minutes? It keeps getting longer and longer.
Yeah, 1:36. We're going to 2.
That's
what
not
is the
40
tide
minutes, that's
change?
20 minutes. Huh?
What's the tide change in your harbor, Chuck? What did Glo say? We're expecting a 20.6 feet. 20.6 next week.
Yeah, we had one of those about 10 days ago when they, not 10 days ago when they had the super moon on like February 26th, was it? Something like that, 23rd. They had an extreme tide. But yeah, a 20-foot tide range is the higher end. It'll get up to 23, 24 feet.
Yeah.
Extreme high to extreme low when we have these super moons.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And of course, that means that we have pretty strong currents out here in the Wrangell Narrows. The Narrows is narrow and shallow. And so you don't have the big cruise ships coming up and down there. The ferry comes up and down the Wrangell Narrows. The barges serve Petersburg via the Narrows, and some of the larger yachts and smaller cruise boats, the 100-passenger cruise boats.
And we have Ron from Iowa. I hear there's nothing there.
In Iowa? I've heard that. Corn.
Shoot. Here to exact revenge on the dis.
Is it River City in Iowa?
River City. You should know.
It's Iowa. Is it Iowa? Or Iowa?
Iowa.
Things have changed since then. That's a long time ago.
Shoot. Well, I'm hoping, let's see if I want to grab Mindy and have her come in and share a recipe with you. And of course, hoping Tom can come in and share a story with us.
Tom's charging around. He's busy. Station manager.
We're watching. We got the windows in front of us here, and all we can see is bodies just racing back and forth. It's been pretty busy here today. The fundraising is going great, but we would love it if we can get a couple of our friends to call in and. Said again, sorry to keep repeating myself, $25. You get a cool KFSK mug. These are great boating mugs, nice heavy ceramic. They'll sit, they won't fall over, and they're just neat. We love collecting them.
They kind of remind you of the Navy mugs, except Navy mugs go without handles because the handles always break off anyway. But these are nice, substantial mugs, and they're made in China.
Probably. So any questions for us at all? We're going to be hanging out this winter again. We'll be doing some more house sitting and spending time working on our website, converting it over to a WordPress format. Thanks to Tom, who's going to give us a hand with that.
Formosa 41, did you ever find info on the abandoned fishing lodge? Yeah, we pretty much learned that it is just abandoned. I'm still not ready to give out the exact location because obviously someone owns it, and there's a lot of you can research on the internet, and there's it tells you places where it has been in the past.
Yeah.
It was open in 2009 for its final season, but not at the location that it says in the brochure.
Yeah, it's nowhere near there.
And where it is now is not either place. It's in a little backwater cove, tucked away, hidden from the outside. There are fishing lodges around it in other coves, but it's there all by itself, and it's not where any of the internet sources or anything says it was. The phone numbers, we tried to call all the phone numbers, and we tried to contact them every way we could think of, and the URL is for sale. The domain is for sale. The phone numbers are all disconnected, and just no response to email from anybody. So that's just it. It's just sitting there.
It's just sitting there.
And it's, make no mistake, it's not salvageable. It wasn't salvageable when we were there. I mean, you could have taken the dishware away.
Well, there was
silverware, there was equipment there.
Yeah, there's stuff there, but
it would probably cost more to go in there and haul it away than it was worth. And the place is sinking. You're not going to rescue it, the buildings or anything like that. So you're not going to rescue it.
Bad.
It's done.
Hi, Mindy.
Oh, Mindy.
Hi. Are you keeping the store closed or open?
It doesn't matter.
Make it easier for people to stop in and say hello.
Mindy's here.
Hi.
Hey.
How's it going?
Excellent. So, yeah.
All right.
Scoot in close.
So Mindy has, well, gosh, you're here almost all the time.
Yeah.
And she does a regular What's for Dinner program and in the garden.
Yeah.
Which is fun to listen to. But you were going to share some.
What's for Dinner is what? Mondays at 2:40?
Mondays at 2:40, right after, or about 2:40, right after Sideline Sports.
Mm-hmm.
And Chuck Show.
And Chuck Show.
Mm-hmm.
If he's on Mondays.
He's on Mondays
I'm on Mondays now.
Okay.
Just got switched.
But I float. A floater.
So you were going to share a recipe or two with us.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to share this sesame ginger salmon recipe. This isn't the exact one that I use, but it's something that's really close to it that I found in my collection here at the radio station. But so I thought I would.
Hold on, Coffee Dog. Looks like all the women in Alaska are beautiful.
Oh.
And the corn beans are coming out now. What that means? Would that mean the tide is going out?
I have no
idea. I have no idea what that meant. That comment meant.
The corn beans are coming out now. Would that mean the tide is going out?
I'm
not sure. But anyway, I thought I would share a seafood recipe since we're up here, and of course we have wild Alaska salmon and a lot of it. This sesame ginger salmon is super easy. I usually cut my salmon in strips about like this, a couple inches. So if you've got a nice fillet out in front of you, if you just cut through the skin and cut through the salmon so you have it in about 2-inch strips.
And you're doing it with skin on, though.
Skin on. It makes for a really nice portion. Rather than, I don't like to grill the whole side at once. I like to do small portions. And you can easily do this without grilling it. You can do this in a cast iron skillet at home or on the boat without hauling out the grill either. But anyway, the key thing here is to have a Ziploc bag and then make a little marinade. And you do want to use wild Alaska salmon.
Not that farm stuff.
Oh.
No.
The difference, if you had a taste test, it's crazy. It's crazy. So you do need to make sure you're checking your source there for your salmon. Okay, 1/4 cup of olive oil, a couple tablespoons of soy sauce, a couple tablespoons of rice vinegar, a couple tablespoons of sesame oil, a couple tablespoons of brown sugar or honey. And generally I'll use honey before I'll use brown sugar. I just like that flavor.
Yeah.
A tablespoon of fresh ginger grated. Try not to use dry for this. You can get it in the little container already grated.
Already grated, yeah.
Yeah, and then it keeps better that way. Sesame seeds, if you have them. If not, don't worry about it. You're going to need some green onions thinly sliced or scallions, and then your salmon. So you can do like 4 salmon fillets, and then cut them into,
liquid size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or however you want to do it. But this will work even with a side of salmon. If you are good at cooking sides of salmon, great. So you just whisk together your soy sauce, honey. Oh, we're going to make the glaze first. We're going to make a glaze first. And that's a couple tablespoons of honey, a teaspoon of soy sauce, a teaspoon of sesame oil, and a half a teaspoon of red pepper paste. A lot of people like to use sriracha, but I think it gives your sauce, I don't know, I'm not a fan of sriracha. People are, and I don't understand it, but there's so many other red pepper pastes out there that are delicious, and I encourage you to try something else, but you might disagree with me. So you can find some really good red pepper paste in the Asian section of the grocery store. Also, you're going to need some more grated ginger and some sesame seeds. So we're going to make the glaze first. Whisk together the honey, the soy sauce, the sesame oil, your red pepper paste, or sriracha if you're going to use that, ginger and sesame seeds, and put that in a small bowl and set it aside. So that's your glaze. Then you're going to, in another bowl, whisk together the olive oil, the soy sauce, the rice vinegar, the sesame oil, honey, brown sugar if you want to use it instead of honey, garlic, ginger, sesame seeds, and the green onions. And to put that in a Ziploc bag or a large bowl and combine that marinade with your salmon fillets and marinate for at least 30 minutes or overnight. And a lot of times I'm not doing it overnight.
You got to think ahead for that.
Yeah, like I'm getting home from work at 4:45, and what are we going to have? Let's have this quick salmon recipe. This is so quick and easy, it's unbelievable. So go ahead and whip up your sauce, throw it in the bag, and then you can, in an hour and a half.
It'll be ready to rock.
Yeah, or 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I usually will grill mine. So I'll just get the grill going, and it really is just 4 minutes on each side for the salmon.
So real quick, real easy.
Oh yeah, I mean you don't want to overcook it.
Right. Nothing worse than overcooked salmon.
Yeah, and if you're somebody who likes to use a meat thermometer, you can use a thermometer and check it. 130. Sometimes you can take it off the grill at like 125, but you know when that salmon's done, it's going to start getting that white, sort of creamy fat
that oozy
on top of it.
Out, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I will, if I'm doing the salmon in the little strips like this, then I'll do the skin side up first.
Oh, okay.
And then I'll flip it and do the skin side down, and then you can just pretty much take a spatula and scoop it right off the grill and leave the skin right on the grill.
So it'll just come right off.
Unless you want the skin on and you're going to eat the skin.
Yeah, some people with that glaze actually that get kind of a crunchy. I'm not a skin person, but I know a lot of people are.
But once you get your salmon on, then give it a little bit of the glaze, and you can even put a little glaze on the very end there and let it sit. When you're letting it sit to finish cooking kind of on the plate.
And that's just it. Salmon, you have to let it rest a little while after you're done cooking because it'll
continue.
Yeah.
That's why as soon as you see that white, you can pretty much think it's going to be done. And if you cook it in the strips, it's really fast. I mean, you can have dinner in, as long 20 minutes. If you're using white rice to serve along with it, then white rice takes 14 minutes to boil, 5 minutes to set, and that's it.
And that's it.
But I usually serve mine with a brown rice, which takes a little longer.
Yeah.
I also use edamame, frozen edamame, and I will just throw the edamame right in with the rice and let that boil right in with the rice, and it just cooks down. And when your rice is done, the edamame is done in there too. So shelled edamame.
That sounds numb.
And serve that with some chopped scallions, and you have a little bit of the glaze, a little squeeze of lime, and some sesame seeds. Sometimes you can get that little sprinkle of sesame seeds mixed with seaweed and spices, and that's really good sprinkled on top too. So that's my salmon recipe for you today. Very easy. It makes me hungry, and that maybe I want to cook that this weekend.
We haven't had lunch yet, and it's getting past our lunch time.
Oh, there's pizza in there from Papa Bear's.
Pizza from Papa Bear's.
Pizza from Papa Bear's.
Let's see, W4ABN. I've never heard of anyone eating salmon skin.
Oh, really? It's delicious. Here in Alaska, we eat it, and if you're cooking it in a cast iron skillet, then you would do the skin or the flesh side down first, and then you will turn it over and do the skin.
Yeah.
And you're going to get a nice brown on that skin.
Yeah,
And then
it's
you,
just
yeah,
crispy, almost like
crispy
pork
skin.
rind, except better.
Yeah, yeah. You can also do, you could also do skin or flesh side down and have the skin on top. And if you're into somebody who's into like using a lot of oil or something, you spoon that oil over onto the skin and that'll help crisp it up too. But a lot of people eat just the skin, you know, and serve it alongside a fancy meal or.
Yeah, it's got to be crispy.
It has to be crispy.
Yeah, that's the key. Soon the recipe will be posted. Yes, Ron, I will post that.
Yeah, we'll post
recipe.
that post it on our blog and on Facebook.
Yeah, I can do it as in part of the description.
And we can put it.
Too.
We can also put it in with the video. Okay.
And of course, KFSK.org. Mindy Anderson.
I'll get you guys this recipe so that you can just post it.
Yeah.
I'll retype it up when I get a chance here, and you know, I kind of just went off this, so I had a something to go by, but I definitely have my own recipe. I just wanted to make sure I was quick. Needed to get in here and give you guys a recipe.
All right. So your show again is on Mondays at
2:40.
2:40. What's for dinner?
What's for dinner? And that's for the time being anyway, following the Island Music Program, which follows the Fish Report at 12:30.
And you can live stream that on KFSK.org.
That's right.
I wanted to mention about salmon. There's a restaurant in Juneau. The two chefs there just recently won the international salmon competition.
Oh.
Or international seafood competition with a salmon recipe that they made down in New Orleans. And they used an entire salmon and made the whole plate was salmon cooked several ways. So they cooked the salmon collars, which are really good. So, you know, the collar is up, you know, around here.
Yeah.
They cooked the salmon collars. I think that they grilled those. They made a salmon chorizo.
Ah, wow.
They did the crispy salmon skin. And I think they did a poached salmon. And I can't remember, but they took one salmon and turned it into all these different flavors and cooked it like 6 or 7 ways on one plate and presented it. And I guess they won. So it's pretty great.
Would have loved to have tasted all that. I mean, just no.
I know.
Yeah, no, just sitting noshed down on the whole thing.
That's another good thing about Southeast Alaska for seafood lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good salmon
there's
here.
Nothing like wild Alaska salmon, let me tell you.
Fresh, fresh out of the water.
Especially when it's caught in the winter. Because in the winter, it's down deep in the cold water and it's got all that extra fat in it. And it's just rich and healthy, full of omega-3s. And yeah, a winter caught, troll caught king salmon is really one of the best things ever. And I wish someone would give me one this year.
That's right. Don't be getting your fish from no gill netter now.
Coffee dog. Okay, I'm officially hungry. Yeah, so are we.
Okay, well, thanks, guys. I got to move on. We got a lot of money to raise.
Yes, make sure we get
it on the air.
All right.
Take care. Thanks for having me.
And we'll post that recipe. And hopefully Tom has a moment. Stop in.
Yeah, I think he was planning on it.
Awesome.
See it.
Cool. That sounds good. I'm gonna have to go pick up a.
I told Mindy I gained 10 pounds just listening to her program. I don't have to eat anything, just listen.
Yeah, what's for dinner? She comes up with some great recipes, and she has a little contest that she runs, giving ingredients, and you can email her your own recipe, and she'll read it out on the air.
And her husband Rob are doing the Rodney. Why do I say Rob?
I don't know.
Rodney, the chiropractor.
He's the best chiropractor around.
Best chiropractor in town. They're doing the butterfly pork chop sandwiches at the Moose Lodge
Can't wait to try
tomorrow
those.
afternoon.
Really
tomorrow
good.
afternoon.
Yeah.
The tailgate party at the Moose Lodge tomorrow afternoon is at 6 p.m. I think.
Yeah. All right. So another pitch. Somebody out there wants a KFSK mug. I know you do. So call 888-772-3808 Tell them you're calling for Cruising Lealea. They'll pop you through on the phone line. $25 donation gets you a mug. It's $120 for folks in town here, so you guys are totally scoring.
That's right.
And then anything over $100, I'll send you a jar of my blueberry ketchup as well. Ooh, forgot to.
That's worth it just for the blueberry ketchup. I'm telling you, that blueberry ketchup is really, really good.
It's a real treat.
Made from blueberries that we picked ourselves, isn't it? Or no, is that the store-bought blueberries or the blueberries we picked at Jeff and Suzanne's?
Last year's batch was the hand-picked blueberries. This year, yeah, I do have some blueberries that I did not pick, but are not store-bought. They came in on the Chelan produce, so they're still good quality blueberries. Yeah,
locally grown Southeast Alaska blueberries at the very minimum.
And Coffee Dog 888-772-3808. Yeah, and I got to get out. I hear the cranberries are just stunning out there. So there's cranberry picking here too. I haven't had a chance to go out and go searching, but apparently they're everywhere. I've had a couple of our clients come through at Waterways, and they said the berries are just phenomenal this year. We had a really good salmon berry season.
Great run of salmon berries. Oh my God.
Tons and tons of berries.
Gallons and gallons of salmon berries. We had all that jam and rhubarb.
Yeah.
Stuff just grows wild around the houses here. You know, the berries and the rhubarb. Blueberries, salmon berries, the yellow ones, the red ones. Oh, what else? Oh, cranberries in the bog.
Cranberries.
We never came up with any cranberries. We're just not adept at finding them, but they tell me they're still.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. There's
out in the muskegs around town.
Actually, the walk where you take the dogs, they're out in that little patch right behind the manor there.
You know, I've looked and I never. I just don't know what to look for.
Once you get your eye on them, apparently, once you spot them and know what to look for. Yeah, bears and cranberries. Not too many for bears here. We don't get bears in town very often.
Haven't been getting bears in town since they fenced in the landfill. After they fenced in the landfill, the bears have not been too much of a problem in town.
Yeah.
But we have there are black bears all over the island, and there are Alaska coastal brown bears, like grizzlies, only bigger, down on the south end of Mitkoff Island. And there are wolves up by the airport.
Yeah, there's wolves. I haven't seen one yet, but apparently
sea lions all along the shoreline of the harbor.
Yeah, this place is rich.
Eagles.
Rich with wildlife. It's every time you go outside. I've gotten to the point where I don't go outside without a camera anymore because there's always something to take a picture
I've gotten tired of taking pictures of the town deer. You go take the dogs for a walk and strolling along through town, and there's five deer grazing in somebody's front yard or on a ball field.
I always joke, if things get desperate here and you get hungry, all you need is an apple and a baseball bat.
You just eat the apple. You don't need the apple to get deer.
Ron, still planning on getting back to the lower 48 next year? Yes, we are.
Yeah, we are. We were planning it this year and the year before and the year before that, but it just hadn't happened.
Yeah,
but yeah, we really need to. And
the boat needs a lot of work, and there's really no place we can haul out in Wrangell and do the work there, but there's no chandleries in Wrangell, so hauling out and not having access to supplies doesn't work for us. Yeah, Port Townsend, I think, is where we're going to have to be, and
we'll sail down the outside of Vancouver Island and into the Strait of Juan de Fuca to Port Townsend, go to Port Townsend that way. It's probably.
Oh, now you're talking outside again? I thought you wanted to do inside.
Well, you're the one who wanted to go outside. I said, let's do inside. You said, let's go outside. I said, okay, fine, let's go outside.
But now you said inside's cool.
Whichever you prefer, darling. You can go whichever way you like. Inside, outside, don't matter to me.
Well, we'll see.
Outside is faster. Outside will probably take a week or 10 days.
It'd be nice to go sailing again.
It'd be nice to go sailing again.
I would love to get the sails up again. We just haven't had them up. It's darn near impossible to sail around here. Let's see. Just a old man. How is the airport? Are you a pilot?
I am a pilot. I haven't flown for quite some time. Not since Hawaii's last time I flew. They have a nice airport here. They fly 737s in. We have regular service.
And
2
there was
flights a day.
a C-130 that landed last year when you were gone.
Was there really?
The FBI came in on the C-130 because we had some explosives that needed to be taken care of. So they came in and blew them up.
And there's a float plane dock. The float planes are very active in and out of the float plane dock down here on the Narrows. So yeah, that's like most of Alaska. There's a lot of general aviation activity here, and 2 flights a day from Alaska Airlines. So
that's
it's
a
very
dangerous place
accessible.
to fly, though, in Alaska.
It's a dangerous place to fly because of the weather. You know, fog and high winds up above the mountains. We're sheltered down here at the harbor, but
it can get pretty scary pretty fast. There was just a plane crash here a couple of weeks ago. Can't remember if anyone actually died in that crash or it was just a
no
crash.
one did. It just a plane crashed on takeoff. It wasn't here. It was at,
in Juneau or Ketchikan or
Ketchikan, I think. I think it was Ketchikan, but.
And the airport coming in, the approach coming in is pretty wild if you're sitting on the right-hand side of the plane.
Depends on which way they
come in.
It's a short runway, though. It's a very short
runway, and
for a 737.
The main route coming in, I've been flying small planes. Well, not flying myself, but I grew up on small planes with my dad, doing a lot of flying and a lot of crazy things. And I'll tell you, I was sitting on the right-hand side of the plane coming in, and I could not believe how close that wingtip was to that mountain coming in. I was like, whoa!
I can't believe the ceiling some of these guys fly in float planes coming down under to get below the fog and land on the Narrows.
Yeah, it's
but
it's dangerous here.
It's Alaska. That's
in most places that's the only place you can. Only means of transportation to get in and out of town.
Yeah, it's either general aviation, float plane, or bush plane, or a boat.
Yeah.
And sometimes the boat isn't even an option. So.
Ron, what do you miss most about not cruising?
We don't think we're not cruising. We think we're still cruising. It's just that we're spending an extended time in this particular harbor.
Yeah.
We're still living on the boat. We have done some house sitting, and it's very nice to get off the boat and do a house sitting job.
Well,
and helping out our friends, but we still think we're cruising.
Yeah, this isn't. We're not planning on this being a permanent thing. The plan right now again is hit Port Townsend next spring. But for us, I think cruising is not so much just actively moving somewhere. It's just the experience of being here and meeting new people and doing new things. And
I'd like to do another long ocean crossing, get out to sea for a month. But I'm trying to think of where to go that I'd rather be than here in Southeast Alaska. And what appeals to me. What appeals to me is going from just exploring the various anchorages. There's, the hot springs, warm springs, Baranof Warm Springs, and the what's that place up on Icy Strait, and different places to explore. All these little anchorages and fishing grounds, and forest service cabins, and hiking and fishing and boating and all the things and all the places to go in the summertime.
Yeah.
And then the wintertime,
you can still do all that stuff in the winter. As far as going from one place to the other, you just have to be you have to be prepared to get stuck in a place for a week or two if the weather comes in and you're not able to leave.
In the wintertime, you may be stuck for a week or two in an anchorage and not able to get away because of the weather on the outside. Yeah. But I have been feeling the urge to go out for a month at sea, takes a good long voyage. But there's no place I want to go to right now. I don't want to go back to Hawaii, and I don't want to go to San Francisco. I don't really care about going to Seattle. Might as well go to Port Townsend to work on the boat. It's the best place I can think of on the West Coast.
But we're not really looking forward to it.
No, I never look forward to boat work.
And John Mitchell, are you still thinking of trailering the Vega to the East Coast? Yes.
Yes, that's definitely the plan.
That
It has
is
been
the
the plan from the
plan.
get-go, and that's
Yeah.
still the plan. Just don't know how we're going to get there right now. From here, we're going to from here go to Port Townsend and haul the boat out of the water, and either we will do a full refit there, or we will load it immediately on a trailer and haul it to the East Coast and do a full refit there.
But for our next major trip, which is we're thinking about an Atlantic crossing,
Yeah.
we have to
Well,
do a
just going
refit
from
on
here
the
to
boat.
Port Townsend is a fairly major trip.
Yeah.
That's a pretty major trip, whether we go, it's inside or outside passage. So inside would be more of an adventure and take longer.
Yeah.
It would take us probably 2 months.
Let's see.
But, you know.
Ron asks, what was your most memorable, pleasant sailing week? Why? What about your worst? This last trip coming over was probably our best trip ever. The weather was phenomenal. We had the right amount of wind. The only thing was Bree was not doing. The only bad thing about that trip was Bree.
Yeah.
But as far as the sailing, it was pretty much perfect. We were in.
And the worst, unquestionably, was going down California coast.
Yeah.
Oregon to California coast. We hit bad weather repeatedly. Laura got sick.
Yeah,
We had to pull in and spend 2 weeks
2 weeks
there
in Crescent City.
in Crescent City, which is the crap hole of a harbor.
It was, and that was before the last tsunami, and that harbor was pretty much wiped out already.
That was before the last tsunami. Yeah, it was pretty much wiped out before.
And whatever was left got wiped out.
And then from there to
2011.
San Francisco, we drove from. From there to Eureka was bad. It was a bad run.
Yeah.
And then from Eureka to San Francisco, we drove. Going back to Hawaii from San Francisco was a fairly fast and easy trip.
Yeah, that was a good trip.
But by far the best, the most fun and comfortable and best weather and all that was coming north from Hawaii to Alaska.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, except for our, cruising around Alaska. Cruising around Alaska is a completely different experience, and you can't judge it, against other experiences.
Let's see. Titus Tiger, I wondered about, did you suddenly make friends where you are, or were there some there already? Seems like you're king and queen.
We didn't know anybody. We blew into town. We hit Sitka. We didn't know anybody. We had thought we were going to spend the winter in Sitka, but we decided we didn't like it there, and we started looking for another place and asking for suggestions. And people said, "Try Petersburg." So we tried Petersburg. We arrived here second week of September, I think, 2012.
Yeah.
And the first week of October in 2012 was the KFSK radio membership drive and potluck fundraiser on a Sunday.
And that's where we met most of our original contacts in town here.
Yeah, we just said, hey, well, let's go up to this potluck and meet some folks. So we did, and we met the veterinarian and his partner, and we met the station manager, and they said, hey, we're looking for volunteers.
Yeah, Tom and Mindy and Jeff and Suzanne, who we've house
Jeff and Suzanne asked us
to
house this for them.
And the house sitting, we've kind of gotten started on that because of my connection with the veterinary clinic. Our first job was house sitting and looking after a really old dog who needed regular medications and a little bit of TLC. So we kind of got started that way.
Yeah, we just blew into town and started making friends. And
in a small town like this, it's easy to make friends. You get big cities where, gosh, you can't even walk down the street and say hi to anybody, or else they think you're going to come after them with a butcher knife.
So once we had house sit for Jeff and Suzanne while they were out fishing, that was the October-November time that they were doing late season fishing.
Yeah.
Or no, they went to a wedding or something. Anyway, they were out of town. They're fishermen. They were out of town for a while. And when they came back, they were happy. And, someone said, well, how did those folks do house sitting for you? And apparently they said, oh, they did fine. And the next thing you know, we were house sitting for other people.
So we're having fun, and I prefer when they have an animal in the house.
Yeah, when there's an animal in the house, it's just that much
pets.
better. We borrow their pets. Glo, the harbor master who was in here earlier, she asked us to house sit while her and her husband went to Hawaii, and we took care of their dogs, and then we wound up house sitting for her mother. And when her mother leaves every October and goes down south until April, and we house sit for her. And
we look after the dogs during the day.
During the
it's
daytime, the harbor master Glo drops her dogs off at Lois's house, and then I take the dogs for a walk every morning. I've been doing it all summer, even though we're not living there.
Keeps you up and
I get up and I go take the harbor master's
walking the
dogs for a walk every
trails
day.
and having a good
So we've been
time.
taking care of the dogs and the cats of the town and people's houses, fishermen when they go out to sea, and you know, people like Lois when they go down south for the winter. And I don't know, that's just it. That's just what's happening. We volunteered at the radio station.
Yeah, and Titus Tiger, you know, are your friends locals or transit people, and it's both. Again, that's what has attracted us to Petersburg and KFSK is the community aspect of this whole town and the radio station and how it connects people together. And it's just a wonderful place. Just a wonderful place to be.
A lot of cruisers, you know, we've run into a lot of cruisers. You know, people have bought me a beer and a slice of pizza, and you know, we've sat and chewed the fat and talked about cruising and our favorite anchorages and gun coals around here in Petersburg when they cruise through. And Laura's bumped into people in Thorn Bay or wherever that, and I've run into people down in Friday Harbor who've seen our videos, and I just want to say hello and so, you know, have a chat. But of course, the wintertime friends are all local here in Petersburg. And, you know, I got into the habit. I would go down to Keto's Cave around lunchtime and wash down a sandwich with a beer or a cup of coffee,
and it's
or
fun
whatever.
picking the brains of the fishermen there, because
the deckhands,
all the
a lot of the deckhands and
that
captains hang out in there when they're not out fishing, and you know, they're more than happy to talk about their favorite places, and
which a lot of them aren't on any of the guides, or you know, they might be in the Coast Pilot, but you wouldn't
or they
really
have
pay
different
any attention
names
to it. But there's a lot of anchorages out there that aren't marked, and that's the best place to get that information, is take one of those guys out and buy them a beer.
Biggest adjustment, or was the lifestyle to gradual where an adjustment wasn't necessary?
This hasn't been an adjustment for us at all. We're just having a good time. No hard adjustment to having a good time.
No, it's just the way, you know, the way the community is. It's not, I mean, it's an island, right? And a lot of people leave in the wintertime.
Yeah, this place gets crazy during the summer.
People that stay, like I said, there are no restaurants open at night, so they have dinner parties and potlucks, and you know, you bring your clam dipped chips to the potluck or whatever.
Let's see, Joe asks, can you charter in Alaska? Yes, you can. We've run into, was it out of Juneau?
Probably Juneau.
What was that one boat we ran into in Honeydew?
Oh yeah. A Nordic tug.
Yeah.
A Nordic 32 or something like that, and they were chartered out of Juneau.
Yeah.
They were out of Juneau.
So it was a 25 or 26 foot Nordic tug out of Juneau. So yeah, check online. Juneau. We know there's boats coming out of there, and they're bareboat charters. And God, that Nordic tug was a nice little boat. I don't know what
really
they were
nice,
paying, but
really nice
it was everything you could possibly want to cruise.
Mom, dad, and a couple of kids.
Yeah. Let's see. Just want to say hi from Southern Manitoba. Hi. Let's see, Giles. Here we go. Hi back. Thanks for joining us. Gosh, we're past our 2 hours. We might run just a little bit longer. I'm hoping Tom can stop in and share a quick story about the history of the KFSK mugs. It sounds kind of boring on your end maybe, but oh my gosh. He was telling us a couple of stories yesterday and the day before, and we were just rolling. I mean, there's a story behind each of these mugs.
Why don't you go see if he has time to drop in right now, and if not,
okay, I'm gonna go see if I can. I'm gonna go see if I can grab Tom. Chuck's gonna pitch a mug again. I'll be right back.
We want the station manager to come in and tell you the story about the mugs, because they've 30 or however long it's been. They get the mug every year, and they have a contest to design it and everything like that. And of course, normally you get a mug with a $120 membership, but we, Cruising Lealea, are giving away our mugs for any membership. If you call in, and because we realize you're not here in the town, but of course you can take advantage of most of the services of KFSK Petersburg. Live stream on the internet, you can download the archive shows. You become a member. $25 for a membership, and Cruising Lealea will send you a mug. It's this year's mug, nice heavy duty Navy style mug with the KFSK logo. You got that on there? With the the ship. And the number to call is 888-772-3808. That's toll free.
Tom is not going to be able to join us. He had to run and pick up a volunteer. Bummer.
Okay. Well, that's it then. We're going to have to go off the air because we've been here for 2 hours.
We've been here for 2 hours and 15 minutes. Holy
Has
crow.
it been that long? Yes, it has. 2 hours and 15 minutes.
All right, everyone. There is a card up in, let's see if we can get it right this time, up in the corner. And so even after broadcast, if you're watching this a little bit later, you can do a donation through the card. We will make sure that makes it through the KFSK. And any donations through there, like I said, we're looking for 2 donations, $25, get you a KFSK mug. If you donate more than $100, I will send you a jar of my blueberry ketchup as well.
She picked the berries.
I picked the berries.
She didn't plant the bushes, but she picked the berries. She cleaned them and boiled them and made the
perfect side to go
homemade
with your
blueberry ketchup.
To go with your salmon, your fresh king salmon.
That's right, with that recipe, which we will get from
we'll
Mindy
post that on in the description here, and I'll put it on our logbook as well. I don't know when we're going to be doing our next Google Hangout. We hadn't really thought about it yet. Keep an eye on the logbook. We're going to be posting a little bit more regularly there since winter's coming up. No, we will.
Okay.
We will. Of course, Facebook, Cruising Lealea. We're on Google Plus. Logbook. Anything else? That's enough. That's plenty. That's more to keep us going.
And since we're in the KFSK broadcast studios, I'm going to close with my usual radio close. Aloha no kako. Aloha indeed to all of us. Until we meet again, I'm Chuck Rose, your temporarily filling in volunteer host. And this is the lovely and talented Laura Wong-Rose, first mate of the sailing vessel Lealea.
And thank you, everyone, for joining us, and we will see you next time. Don't forget, you want a kick-ass mug. Give us a call.
Mala'a mapono. Take care.
Bye, guys.